Hello everyone, good morning. Hope you're well. So today um, we're gonna share a very important class. Before that, just I'd like to ask you, how are you today? So please type in the chat box, how are you today? And then we're gonna start the class. So before starting the class, I'd like to request you to write down something in the chat box. And this is very powerful message. The message is, just write it down. Everyone wants to go to heaven, but no one wants to die. Type in the chat box very quickly, and I'd like to explain this message to you. Then we're gonna go through the class, and within short period of time, we're gonna finish the class as well. So please type in the chat box. Everyone wants to go to heaven, but no one wants to die. Very quickly, please type in the chat box. Everyone wants to go to heaven, but no one wants to die. The reason I'm giving this powerful message is there are so many students out there. They would like to be a very good speaker. They would like to get a 7 in IELTS score, but they don't like to do the homework. They don't like to work on it, but just they want to. So there are a lot of human beings like us. The same thing. They would like to go to heaven, but they don't like to die. They don't like to work on it. So please type in the chat box if you can hear me properly. So the statement is, no one wants to die, but everyone wants to go to heaven. Yeah, so the next statement I'm going to give you, how many of you would like to be a fluent speaker, but you don't like to do the homework? Right, so please type in the chat box. Everybody wants to be a fluent speaker, but nobody wants to do the homework. Nobody wants to do the homework, right? So that's the powerful message I'd like to give you. So if you'd like to go to heaven, of course you got to die and you got to do some sort of good deeds. And if you'd like to be a fluent speaker, of course you need to work on it. You need to submit your homework. You need to practice at home. That's the thing. So everybody wants to go to heaven, but no one wants to die, or nobody wants to die. Okay, so the next question I'm going to ask you, how many of you submitted your homework, 60 sentences in your presentation? So if you have submitted your homework, 60 sentences, please type in the chat box me. And if you haven't submitted your homework, please give me the reason why didn't you submit your homework. যদি আপনি হোমওয়ার্ক সাবমিট করে থাকেন তাহলে আমাকে একটু চ্যাট বক্সে লিখে জানান যে আপনি হোমওয়ার্ক সাবমিট করেছেন, আর যদি আপনি করে না থাকেন তাহলে আমাকে একটু রিজন জানাবেন যে কেন আপনি হোমওয়ার্ক করেননি। জাস্ট আইড লাইক টু নো দ্য রিজন ইফ আই ক্যান হেল্প ইউ ফার্দার, যদি আরো বেশি আপনাকে হেল্প করতে পারি। রাইট, so having said that, we would like to get in the class. So in the first class we have very first class, we practice how to introduce yourself using the be verb, and you gave a presentation. Well done. Second class, we worked on the very basic sentence is subject plus verb, and we made a lot of sentences, and the presentation was, what do you do every day? And I asked you to give a presentation, and you need to make at least 60 sentences, and you gave, some of you gave the homework, submitted it. Well done, congratulations. And the third class, we have what is called gone through the favorite person. What does your favorite person do? Because while we are speaking in English, we forget third person singular number s or yes. So that's why I gave you this medicine to cure. And some of you have submitted homework. Excellent, well done. And I have seen some of the students, they gave presentation like 8 minutes. Can you remember just having a class like 3-4 classes, and you are giving a presentation of 8 minutes? You are giving a video presentation. I can't believe myself. So here is the one thing is, there is another proverb is saying, when the student is ready, teacher appears. So যদি আপনাদের ইংরেজি জানার দরকার থাকে, যদি ফাউন্ডেশন বিল্ড আপ করার দরকার থাকে, আইএলটিএস এ ভালো টেস্ট স্কোর করার দরকার থাকে, এবং আপনি যদি somehow খুঁজছেন কাউকে হেল্প করার জন্য, so I am here for you, right? So all you got to do is you got to listen to me. Just I'd like to remind my mentors advice. He said, Habib, I'd like to take you as a mentee. I'd like to take you as a student if you listen to me and you execute, you apply what I what the advice I'm giving you, and also you got to keep doing it until you get your success. So the same advice I'm going to give you. If you are my student, you got to listen to me, and you got to apply what I'm saying. If I say you to submit your homework, submit. If I tell you to make 60 sentences, you got to do it. And if I give you some sort of presentation to do it every single day, you should do it. So who has got problem in fluency? I mean, you cannot speak fluently. For them, I have given you two questions. One was, what do you do every day? And the second one was, what does your favorite person do every day? So আপনাদের যাদের ফ্লুয়েন্সি সমস্যা আছে তারা আজকে থেকে প্রতিদিন 3 বার করে প্র্যাকটিস করতে থাকবেন এই দুইটা কোশ্চেন। আপনি প্রতিদিন কি করেন 60 সেন্টেন্সেস, এবং আপনার ফেভারিট পারসন প্রতিদিন কি করে 60 সেন্টেন্সেস। Listen to me, right? So at the end of 12 days you will see the benefit. You're gonna start speaking with your confidence. I'm gonna give you the guarantee. Okay, so today's class, okay, in the last class also you have learned the second structure, that was do plus subject plus verb plus question mark, right? So I'd like to ask you, I'd like to just check whether you can remember what is the first structure, subject plus verb. Everybody, can you please type in the chat box subject plus verb? That was our mainly first structure. Everyone else, please type in the chat box subject plus verb. Okay, I can see a lot of students, they have submitted their homework. So Rubaya Sultana, thank you for submitting your homework. Sam, thank you for submitting your homework. Munir Islam, thank you for submitting your homework. Masura, thank you for submitting your homework. Anith, thank you for submitting your homework. So please type in the chat box subject plus verb. That was the first structure we have started with, right? Subject plus verb. And I have given you a lot of subjects like I, we, you, they, he, she, it, Tony. And here there were some sort of verbs we have practiced with. For example, speak. So I speak, we speak, you speak, they speak, he speaks, she speaks, it speaks, Tony speaks. So this is how we have started, and you have given me a lot of sentences within this structure. So the next structure was do plus subject plus verb 1 plus question mark. Can you please type in the chat box? Structure number 2 is do plus subject plus verb 1 plus question mark. Do plus subject plus verb 1 plus question mark. So then we made a lot of sentences using, and you also know that do means nothing. We use do for interrogative and negative sentences. So second structure আপনারা জেনেছেন যে do এর কোনো মিনিং নাই। আমরা সাধারণত নেগেটিভ এবং ইন্টারোগেটিভ সেন্টেন্স তৈরি করার জন্য আমরা do ইউজ করি। So still can you remember? So we use do for interrogative and negative sentences, right? So do plus subject plus verb plus question mark. It's an interrogative sentence. So do, we need do. Do plus subject plus verb 1 plus question mark. Yeah, everyone else, please comment in the chat box. And then we have practice. Do I speak? Do you speak? Do you speak? Do they speak? Does he speak? Does she speak? Does it speak? Does Tony speak? This is how we made a lot of sentences. And today's structure would be WS plus do plus subject plus verb 1 plus question mark. Structure number 3 we're going to practice today, and we're going to go through this structure and we're going to learn a lot. So now can you please type in the chat box WS plus do plus subject plus verb 1 plus question mark. Just quickly type in the chat box. Structure number 3 WS plus do plus subject plus verb 1 plus question mark. Quickly please type in the chat box. Okay, thank you for responding. So WS plus do plus subject plus verb 1 plus question mark. Okay, let me see who is the first one who commented the whole structure number 3. Tumpa, congratulations. WS plus do plus sub plus verb 1 plus question mark. Excellent. So Monirul, you need to add WS. So WS যোগ করতে হবে, WS plus do plus subject plus verb 1 plus question mark. Excellent, thank you for responding. WS plus do plus verb 1 plus, okay, Asmir, yeah, that's right, you deleted. So you missed subject. Mustafiz said WS plus do plus subject plus verb 1 plus question mark. Excellent, Mustafiz. Kausar Ahmed said WS plus do plus subject plus verb 1 plus question mark, not question, just question mark, right? So Joshim said WS plus do plus verb 1. Joshim, where is the subject? You need to put subject. So yeah, write again. Azmir said W plus, no, WH. WH. WH plus do plus subject plus verb 1 plus question mark. Hasibul, thank you. Thank you for responding. Okay, excellent. Excellent. WH plus do plus subject plus verb 1 plus question mark. Now, can you please tell me what I mean by WH? Type in the chat box. WH বলতে আমি কি বুঝিয়েছি একটু আমাকে chat box এ লিখে জানান very quickly. WH plus do plus subject plus verb 1 plus question mark. And one more thing I'd like to share with you. I think you are enjoying a lot in what is called Facebook group chat. I can see, I mean, all the time you are, you know, texting, asking questions, engaging with other students. That's a good sign, right? That's a good sign. But on the top of that, you'll be more benefited if you submit your homework in the Facebook group as well. So just submit in the group. Take your phone, hold the phone, you know, click the record button, video, and then record it and just submit your homework. So at the end of 12 days speaking challenge, if you submit 12 homework, you're gonna get a certificate, and also you're gonna get the opportunity to do an IELTS course with us completely free, right? So make sure you don't you don't miss these two opportunities, right? So make sure you do it. Okay, I have got a lot of answers. So Hasil Shanti says home, who, what, which, whose. Okay, excellent. Sayeda Bushra said what, which, why, how, home. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you for responding. Okay, so what I mean by WH is, yeah, that's right. So can you please type in the chat box again? So first one is why, second one is when, third one is how, fourth one is which. So why, when, how, which. Why, when, how, which, where. So we're going to practice with these 5 WH questions, right? So why, when, where, how, which. So these are the 5 WH questions we're going to practice with. So please type in the chat box 5 things: why, when, how, where, which. Very quickly, I'd like to see everybody's comments. Excellent, excellent. So why, when, how, where, which. Okay, thank you. Thank you for responding. Thank you for responding. Now, I'd like to share with you one more thing. You know, you are doing this class, excellent, congratulations. But so we are writing a book on this speaking English 12 days. So how many of you will be very much interested to get a copy of book, Speak English in 12 days? So if you are really interested, if you'd like to want to get a copy of the book, it's physical book, so please type in the chat box book. Very quickly, please type in the chat box book. Jodi apnara Speak English in 12 days এই বইয়ের একটা কপি পেতে চান, আমাকে একটু চ্যাট বক্সে লিখে জানান book. Very quickly, please type in the chat box book. I'd like to see how many of you are really want to get a copy of book. So sometimes, you know, for the lack of time, I couldn't cover a lot of things, but that's also available in the book. So please type in the chat box book. Okay, thank you. Thank you for responding. I'd like to see how many of you would like to get a book, Speak English in 12 days. Okay, excellent. Thank you. So make sure you contact with our, the book is not ready yet, it's almost done. So we're gonna send for publication, and probably at the, okay, I think second week of next month, we're gonna have the book in our hand, and just you can, you know, get a copy of the book. So, okay, now we're gonna practice this structure is WH plus do plus subject plus verb 1 plus question mark. So that's how we're gonna practice. So I can see a lot of students, they would like to get a copy of the book. So Joshim said book. Okay, Nazmuzzaman, Ruba Sultana, Joshim, Bushra, Krishna, Azmir Hussain, Nazmuzzaman, Sam, Ahmed, Rahman, Rokunuddin, okay, Soeb, Numan, Azmir Hussain, Hassan Santo, Eni. Okay, got it. Thank you. Thank you for responding. A lot of students, more students, they would like to get a book. So what is going to happen is, so, you know, these comments are recorded. So our team, they will approach to you, and once the book is ready, you're gonna get a copy of the book. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do, I will just share my screen so that you can see it, and you can practice with me, right? So this is how you need to make deep questions, right? So before starting these questions, I'd like to give you some sort of insights that why do you need this structure. So for example, if I ask you, do you learn English? You don't need to answer me opening your mouth. You can say, if I ask you, do you learn Chinese? You can answer me without opening your mouth. If I ask you, do you drink water? Do you drink wine? Do you eat fish? Do you eat pork? Do you learn English? Do you learn Chinese? No. So without opening your mouth, you can answer it. And you know, sometimes we need more information. If you ask me, do you live in the UK? Answer you, right? Now, probably you might have so many questions you'd like to ask me. যে ভাইয়া আপনি কোথায় থাকেন, কিভাবে ইংল্যান্ডে গেলেন, কখন গেলেন, কত বছর যাবত থাকেন, ইংল্যান্ডের কোন এরিয়ায় থাকেন. You might have this sort of questions in your mind, and if you don't know how to ask these questions, so you are not getting the answer. Do you get me? আপনার মনে অনেকগুলো কোশ্চেন থাকতে পারে, আপনি শুধু জানছেন so using the structure do plus subject plus verb 1, you can ask me, do you live in the UK? My answer is yes, I do, right? So after getting this answer, you might have so many questions, but if you don't know this structure, you won't be able to ask me this sort of questions. Okay, dear beginners, আপনাদের মনে অনেক কোশ্চেন থাকতে পারে. প্রথম কোশ্চেন যদি আপনি আমাকে জিজ্ঞেস করেন যে আপনি কি ইংল্যান্ডে থাকেন, আমার আনসার হলো থাকি. তারপরে আপনি যদি আমাকে অনেক ধরনের কোশ্চেন করতে চান, এই ক্ষেত্রে আপনাকে কি করতে হবে, ডিপ কোশ্চেনের স্ট্রাকচার শিখতে হবে. ডিপ কোশ্চেনের স্ট্রাকচার কি? WS plus do plus subject plus verb 1 plus question mark. So this is the structure you need to follow. And আপনি যদি এই স্ট্রাকচার ইউজ করতে জানেন, কিভাবে সেন্টেন্স মেক করতে হয় জানেন, তাহলে আপনি আমাকে ইংরেজিতে অনেক ধরনের কোশ্চেন করতে পারবেন, right? So after finishing this class today, you will be able to ask a lot of questions, loads of questions, and I'm going to give you guarantee, and I will prove it at the end of the class as well. So are you ready? Dear challengers, are you ready? If you're ready, please type in the chat box READY, ready. Very quickly, type in the chat box ready. So before starting this class, I'd like to take you a bit back so that you can understand this. So now, you know, this is structure we have practiced yesterday. So let's practice one more time, right? So you know how we're gonna practice. 3, 2, 1, go, and you need to practice loudly. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Let's start. Do I practice? Do you practice? Do you practice? Do they practice? Does he practice? Does she practice? Does it practice? Does Tony practice? So dear students, if you miss some sort of classes, don't worry about that, right? The class is recorded. All you need to do is you need to watch the recorded version and you will get it. And one more thing, at the end of the class, I'll show you where you're gonna find this sort of classes. কোথায় আপনারা এই ক্লাসগুলো খুঁজে পাবেন, আমি আপনাদেরকে দেখাবো at the end of the class. So make sure you focus on today's class. So one more time, we're gonna practice, and this time your challenge is you need to give me 9 sentences using one breath, right? So আমাকে 9টা সেন্টেন্স ডেলিভার করবেন এক নিঃশ্বাসে. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Let's start. Do I practice? Do you practice? Do you practice? Do you practice? Do they practice? Does he practice? Does she practice? Does it practice? Does Tony practice? Okay, now can you please type in the chat box if you made 9 sentences in one breath? 9:1. Just type down 9:1. Okay, quickly, please type in the chat box 9:1. So now you know the structure. So all I did is I added WS before do. আমি কি করেছি এই জায়গায় do এর আগে একটা WS বসিয়ে দিয়েছি. So the structure now is WS plus do plus subject plus verb 1 plus question mark, right? Very simple, very easy. Okay, so Numan said 9:1. Thank you, Numan, for responding. So thank you for responding. Joshim, thank you for responding. Chumpa, thank you for responding. Shanto, thank you for responding. Sultana, Sam, thank you for responding. Azmir, Najmuzuman, thank you for responding. Annie, thank you for responding. Khan, thank you for responding. Okay, so this is how we need to practice. So now listen to me first. Don't practice. Just listen. Listen. So this is how I need to make sentences. So I'm going to start with why. Okay, so I used to make the same mistakes. I used to say why. From now on, don't say why. Say why. Right? এখন থেকে আমরা why বলবো না, কি বলবো? Why. Just why. Right? Why. So why do I study? Why do we study? Same thing. Just I'm following this sequence, right? Why do I study? Why do we study? Why do you study? Why do you study? Why do they study? Why does he study? Why does she study? Why does it study? Why does Tony study? So this is how just you need to make sentences. Is it clear to you? If it is clear, please type in the chat box CLEAR. Clear. Quickly, very quickly, type in the chat box CLEAR. Right? So this is how we need to practice. One more time, I'm going to show you. So আমি why দিয়ে sentence তৈরি করব. Why do I study? Why do we study? Why do you study? Why do you study? Why do they study? Why does he study? Why does she study? Why does it study? Why does Tony study? So by this time, if you have got any questions, of course you can ask me the questions. So if you've got any questions by this time, you can ask the question. So thank you for responding. Now everyone is clear. Now we're going to practice, right? So start with why. আমরা সবাই কি করব? Why দিয়ে 9টা করে সেন্টেন্স তৈরি করব. Ready? 3 2 1 go. Let's start. Why do I study? Why do we study? Why do you study? Why do you study? Why do they study? Why does he study? Why does she study? Why does it study? Why does Tony study? Okay, thank you. Thank you for responding. Now I'd like to see how many of you made 9 sentences using why. Please type in the chat box 9. Quickly type in the chat box 9. Very quickly, please type in the chat box 9. Okay, someone asked Kazi Bobi sir class. I'm not sure what's your question. Can you please write the complete question so that I can answer? Okay, thank you for responding. So now we're going to start with how. Okay, thank you for responding. So a lot of students, they made 9 sentences. Congratulations. So next one, we're going to go with how. How the amra sentence to recover. Ready? The same way. Ready? 3 2 1 go. Let's start. How do I study? How do we study? How do you study? How do you study? How do they study? How does he study? How does she study? How does it study? How does Tony study? So make sure আপনি যখন এই he, she, it, Tony বলেন তখন এই do হয়ে যাবে does. Clear? Do you understand the difference between do and does? So যখনই আপনি he, she, it, Tony এর কথা বলবেন তখনই do কি হয়ে যাবে? Does হয়ে যাবে. Okay? Now we're going to practice all together. So using how, right? So this time your challenge is you got to give me 9 sentences using one breath. Using one breath, right? এক নিঃশ্বাসে আমাকে 9টা সেন্টেন্স তৈরি করে জানাবেন how দিয়ে, right? So ready? 3 2 1 go. Let's start. Yeah, loudly. How do I study? How do you study? How do you study? How do they study? How does he study? How does she study? How does it study? How does Tony study? Thank you. Thank you. So if you made 9 sentences using how, please type in the chat box how. Type in the chat box how. So if you type in the chat box how, I'll understand that you made 9 sentences. যদি আপনি কমেন্ট বক্সে লিখে জানান how, তাহলে আমি বুঝবো আপনি how দিয়ে 9টা সেন্টেন্স তৈরি করে ফেলছেন, right? Next one is where. So I used to say the same thing, where. From now on, we don't say where. We're gonna say where, right? আমিও আগে ভুল বলতাম, আমি বলতাম where. এখন থেকে আর where বলবো না, কি বলবো? Where. So where দিয়ে আমরা প্র্যাকটিস করব. So where do I study? Where do you study? Where do you study? Where do you study? Where do they study? Where does he study? Where does she study? Where does it study? Where does Tony study? Right? So we're gonna practice with where. Ready? So 9 sentences in one breath. Ready? 3 2 1 go. Let's start with where. Where do I study? Where do you study? Where do you study? Where do they study? Where does he study? Where does she study? Where does it study? Where does Tony study? Okay, one more time. We're gonna practice with when. এখন থেকে আমরা when বলবো না, কি বলবো? When Michael, when Okay, so someone said we need more classes from Kazi Babi sir, especially for writing. Okay, call www.freeiles.online. If you go there, you will get all the classes is accumulated there. All you need to do, you need to go to website. I'm gonna typing the website here so that you can understand. So it's www.free so yeah, so www.freeiles.online. So if you go this website, then you need to create an account, and you're gonna have so many classes from Bobby sir and Arifin sir as well. So do it and check out the classes. And once you finish this 12 days speaking challenge, of course, who is gonna be qualified, invite you. All you need to do is you need to submit 10 plus to 12 presentation. So once you get your certificate, that means you are qualified for IELTS preparation class, right? So until then, please wait. Okay, so now I'm gonna practice with when. Are you ready? You need to practice with me. 3, 2, 1, go. Let's start. When do I study? When do you study? When do you study? When do you study? When do they study? When does he study? When does she study? When does it study? When does Tony study? Okay. So next one is how long? How long? So how long? Okay. How means কিভাবে? কিভাবে আপনি study করেন, and how long হলো কতক্ষণ ধরে আপনি study করেন? That's the only difference. So if I ask you how do you study? কিভাবে আপনি study করেন? আর যদি আমি জিজ্ঞেস করি যে how long do you study for IELTS, কতক্ষণ যাবত আপনি IELTS এর জন্য স্টাডি করেন? That's the only difference. Thanks for asking this question. So we're going to practice with how long. So ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Let's start. So how long do I study? How long do you study? How long do you study? How long do you study? How long do they study? How long does he study? How long does she study? How long does it study? How long does Tony study? Thank you for responding. So the last one is which. So when we're gonna use which, make sure you need a noun. যখনই আমরা which use করব, আমাদের কি দরকার? একটা noun দরকার. Please type in the chat box noun if you understand. After which, we always put a noun. So for example, which college, which country, which university, right? So which food, which coffee do you like to have? So always after which we put a noun. So please type in the chat box noun if you understand noun. So which university? So university is a noun. So which এর পরে সবসময় আমরা কি বসাবো? একটা নাউন বসাবো। That's study. Which university do you study? Which university do you study? University do they study? Which university does he study? Which university does she study? Which university does it study? Which university does Tony? Right? Thank you for responding. Now we're gonna practice together, right? Which university? Are you ready? If you are ready, so let's start with which university. I need to give me 9 sentences in one breath. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Let's start. Which university do I study? Which university do you study? Which university do you study? Which university do they study? Which university does he study? Which university does she study? Which university does it study? Which university does Tony study? Okay. So how many of you made 9 sentences in one breath? Please type in the chat box 9:1. আপনি যদি হুইচ ইউনিভার্সিটি দিয়ে 9টা সেন্টেন্স এক নিঃশ্বাসে তৈরি করে থাকেন, আমাকে একটু লিখে জানান 9:1. Very quickly. 9:1. 9:1. Now, I'll check whether you understand the meaning of this or not. So the first question, I'll ask you questions and you need to answer me, right? So can you remember I said today's class is deep questions. So first of all, you will understand the pattern of the sentence. We're gonna practice, and then I will ask you some questions and I'll check whether you can understand the question and you can answer me or not. আমি আপনাদেরকে প্রথমেই যে প্রমিস করেছিলাম যে প্রথমেই আমরা কি করব, কিভাবে ডিপ কোশ্চেন করতে হয় সেটার প্যাটার্ন জানবো, সেটার স্ট্রাকচার জানবো। We know it, right? the pattern is WS plus do plus subject plus verb 1 plus question mark. You know it, right? And the second thing, we will practice a lot. So you have practiced. Now I'll check whether you understand the meaning of not is. So আপনি যদি এই সেন্টেন্সের এই স্ট্রাকচার বুঝে থাকেন তাহলে আপনি আমাকে আনসার করতে সক্ষম হবেন। If you don't understand, you can answer. So don't worry. আপনি যদি না বুঝে থাকেন, still stick to us, stay with us, and once we'll go through it, you'll understand, right? So the first question I'm going to ask you, do you learn English? Answer me in the chat box. I'd like to see your answer. Do you learn English? Quickly, very quickly type in the chat box. Do you learn English? So can you remember the smart way to answer it? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. So type in the chat box, answer. Do you learn English? Do you learn English? Answer me in the chat box. Okay. Next question I'm going to ask you. Give me the full sentence. Give me the full sentence. Don't play shortcut, right? Don't say this, that. Give me the full sentence. So my question is, do you learn English? Answer should be yes, I do. So Nazmuzzaman, you said yes, I am. No, it's the wrong answer. You need to follow the tense. I ask you using the present simple, do you learn English? Your answer should be yes, I do. If you say, if I ask the question, so are you learning English? Your answer should be yes, I am. Instead of saying I'm learning English, you can say yes, I am. So you need to follow the tense. সব সময় কি করতে হবে? টেন্স কে ফলো করতে হবে। আমি আপনাকে কোশ্চেন করছি, do you learn English? Present simple. Your answer should be in present simple. Yes, I do. Next question I'm going to ask you, why do you learn English? Why? Why do you learn English? Give me the full sentence. Don't play shortcut. Shortcut answer করবেন না, full sentence দিয়ে answer করেন. Why do you learn English? কেন আপনি ইংরেজি শিখেন? Answer me in the chat box. I learn English because da 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 da. Give me the answer. Okay. Okay. Some said I do learning English. Some it's a wrong sentence again. Answer should be yes, I do. And if you say yes, I do learn English, that means you are emphasizing on. So this is the another thing that I have explained to Sam. So যদি আমরা কোনো জিনিসের প্রতি জোর দিতে চাই তাহলে আমরা এক্সট্রা একটা ডু বসিয়ে দেই। For example, if I say I drink tea, it's a simple sentence, I drink tea. If I say I do drink tea, আমি তাহলে কি করলাম, আমি একটু এমফাসাইজ করলাম, একটু গুরুত্ব আরোপ করলাম, আমি চা পান করি, রাইট? So I do learn English means আমি ইংরেজি শিখি। So যদি কোনো কিছুর উপরে এমফাসাইজ করতে চান প্রেজেন্ট ফর্মে তাহলে একটা এক্সট্রা ডু বসিয়ে দেবেন। For example, I do practice with my friend. আপনি কি করলেন, একটু এমফাসাইজ করলেন। Okay, I have got so many answers. So Joshim said I learned because get for government job. Okay, Joshim, give me the full sentence, full answer. I learn English because I want to get a government job, right? Write it again. Kausar Ahmed said I learn English because I want to fluent speaker, English speaker. So I want to be a fluent English speaker. Kausar, just please correct it. Sultana said I learn English because I want to go to abroad. I want to go abroad, right? So two darkar nahi. Next one is Azmir Hussain said I learn English because I want to go to abroad or looking for a job. If you say I want to go abroad, that's fine. Hilul Khan say, sorry if I pronounce your name wrong. Hilul Khan said it's international language. So can you remember? So vowel jodi thake tahle n বসিয়ে দিতে হবে. It's an international language. I want to learn English because it's an international language. That's right. Sultana Zahan, and he said I learn English for going to abroad. Okay. Nazmul said yes, I do, and it's kindness for all of us. Okay, excellent answer. I learn English for improve my English speaking. So Tumpa, if you say I learn English for এর পরে সবসময় ভার্বের সাথে আইএনজি যোগ হবে, for improving my English speaking. I learn English for improving my speaking. Okay, so if you say I learn English because improving or to improve my English speaking, that should be good as well. So you can say both way. You can say I learn English to improve my speaking, or you can say I learn English for improving my speaking. So for এর পরিবর্তে ing দিবেন, to এর পরিবর্তে base from verb 1 হবে। Okay, Rokonuddin said I learn English because I want to go abroad. Excellent. So Monirul Islam said I learn English because English is an important for IELTS. English is an important for IELTS and it helped me to go abroad. English is very important for IELTS. Okay, got it. I learn English because I want to be a fluent English fluent English speaker. Okay, I learn English because I want to going to Canada. I want to go to Canada. Okay, Sultana, Yasmin Sultana. So next one is I learn English because I do love it. Okay, so that's right. You can say that I do love it. That means Soeb emphasizes on how much he loves the English language. So আপনি যদি emphasize করতে চান তাহলে বলতে পারেন I do love it, right? So I learn English to improve my language proficiency. Okay, excellent. Thank you for responding. So next question I'm going to ask you is how do you learn English? How do you learn English? How do you learn English? Please answer me in the chat box. How do you learn English? কিভাবে আপনি ইংরেজি শিখেন? Answer me in the chat box. So Mustafir Rahman said, due to being a great fluent speaker, also I'd like to explore all corners of the globe. Okay, excellent answer. Thank you for responding. So the next question is how do you learn English? How do you learn English? কিভাবে আপনি ইংরেজি শিখেন? How do you learn English? How do you learn English? Okay, I'd like to see your answer. Okay, very quickly type in the chat box. Type in the chat box. How do you learn English? How do you learn English? Okay, so Rukunuddin said I learn English by practicing. Okay, so Rukun, if you say I learn English by practicing, that sounds better, right? Still is a good answer, but if you say I learn English by practicing, okay. Maria Akhtar Nipa said I learn English because English is important for communication international people easily. Okay, excellent. Anybody else, please type in the chat box. How do you learn English? Okay, Hilkan said I learn English from you. Okay, so I think it's a spelling mistake, autocorrection in your chat. So you mean I learn English from you? Okay, that's fine, you can answer it. I learn English by practicing and following my mentor. Okay, excellent answer. Kausar Ahmed said by following the instruction of teachers. Okay, excellent, thank you. I learn English by online class. Excellent answer, thank you. So next question I'm going to ask you, where do you learn English? Where do you learn English? কোথায় আপনি ইংরেজি শিখেন? Type in the chat box very quickly. Where do you learn English? Okay, so where do you learn English? কোথায় আপনি ইংরেজি শিখেন? So answer me in the chat box. By this time I'm going to read some comments. I learn English by online class. Okay, I learn English by teacher. Okay, Azmin, if you say I learn English from my teacher, it sounds better, right? ভালো শোনাবে. Sultana Zahanani said I learn English by listening my teacher, speaking and watching by English movies. Okay, excellent answer. I learn English by Hassel Free Education conducted by Honorable Habib sir. Okay, I learn English at Hassel Free Education. It sounds better. I learn English at Hassel Free Education. Okay, next one is Rukunuddin said by practicing English I learn. Okay, Rukun, if you say I learn English by practicing, that sounds better. Monirul said I learn English practice with my friends and sometimes I see a lot of classes in YouTube. Okay, excellent. Nazrul Zaman said I learn English by doing more presentation. Okay, excellent answer. Yasmin Sultana said I learn English by online class. Okay, excellent. So next question was where do you learn English? Where do you learn English? কোথায় আপনি ইংরেজি শিখেন? Okay, thank you for answering. So Soeb said I learn English in Hassel Free Education. So if you say Soeb I learn English at Hassel Free Education, that's better. At Hassel Free Education. Joshim said I learn English from Hassel Free Education. Okay, thank you for answering. Next question is when do you learn English? কখন আপনি ইংরেজি শিখেন? Type in the chat box. When do you learn English? কখন আপনি ইংরেজি শিখেন? So in these questions I'm expecting a time. When? কখন? When do you learn English? Okay, Any said I learn English from my teacher. Okay, thank you. Nazmul said I learn English at Hassel for Education. Excellent answer. I learn English by book. Okay, by reading books. Okay, I learn English by online. Okay, I learn English by online class. Okay, excellent. Thank you. Thank you for responding. Next question is, when do you learn English? কখন আপনি ইংরেজি শিখেন? Please type in the chat box. Everyone else. I would like to see everyone else answer, right? Don't be a spectator. Be a player. এই ক্লাসে আপনারা দর্শক হয়ে থাকবেন না, প্লেয়ার হয়ে থাকেন, right? Playful, play 100%. So last question was, when do you learn English? কখন আপনি ইংরেজি শিখেন? Okay, now I'm getting the answer. So Kausar said I learn English when I get time. Okay, so Yasmin Sultana said I learn English at 2 p.m. Okay, thank you for answering. I learn English at 2 p.m. at Hassel for Education. Okay, excellent. Next question, if I ask you, how long do you learn? How long do you learn English? How long do you learn at Hassel for Education? Okay, so how long do you learn? How long do you learn for? Give me the answer. How long? কতক্ষণ সময় ধরে আপনি ইংরেজি শিখেন? Please type in the chat box. Okay. So someone said okay, Azmi said I learn English at morning. So in the morning, I learn English afternoon at 2 p.m. Okay, excellent answer. I learn English by online at 2 p.m. Excellent answer. I learn English all the time nowadays. Okay, excellent, Nazmuzzaman. You can say that. From online class, I learn English. Okay, Mustafir Rahman said I learn English by a great practice session with his is called Hassel for Education. Okay, excellent answer. I learn. Okay, Rukunuddin said I learn English an hour. So for an hour, right? Rukun, can you please answer me again? I learn English for an hour every day. You can say, right? So I learn English when I have enough free time. Okay, excellent. Thank you for answering. So next question is, which language do you learn? Which language do you learn? Please answer me in the chat box. Which language do you learn? আপনি কোন ভাষা শিখেন? কি ভাষা শিখেন? আমাকে একটু chat box এ লিখে জানান. Very quickly. Type in the chat box. Which language do you learn? Which language do you learn? Okay, thank you. Thank you for responding. Now this is your turn. So I have asked so many questions to you. Now you need to ask me the questions. The first question is, where? Okay, first question is, do you live in the UK? So type in the chat box. Same question টাই আমাকে একটু chat box এ লিখে জানান. Do you live in the UK? Very quickly. Do you live in the UK? Do you live in the UK? Very quickly, please type in the chat box. So now you're gonna write the question and I'll answer it, right? The first question is, do you live in the UK? So you're gonna start with asking me a question. Do you live in the UK? Okay, so type the question in the chat box. Do you live in the UK? Okay, Said Khan said, do you live in the? So UK age ekta da ase, THE. Do you live in the UK? Okay. No, don't answer me. Ask the question. Do you live in the UK? Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Nazmuzzaman. Yeah, that's right. Do you live in the UK? Don't answer me. Ask me the questions. This is your turn to asking questions, right? এবার আপনার পালা আমাকে কোশ্চেন করার। So comment একটু কোশ্চেনটা লিখে জানান, do you live in the UK? Yeah, I do. Yes, I do. Question is yes, I do. এখন এই কোশ্চেনটাই আমাকে why দিয়ে করে দেখান। So using why, please ask me this question again. Why দিয়ে আমাকে এখন এই সেম কোশ্চেনটাই করে দেখান যে আপনি, আমি একটু দেখতে চাই আপনি কোশ্চেন করতে পারেন কিনা। So dear students, can you please type in the chat box a question using why? So you're gonna follow WS plus do plus subject plus verb one plus question mark. So the question, the verb is live. Verb is live. So I'd like to see who can make the first question. Right. So please ask me the question. Excellent. Recognition. Why do you live in the UK? Excellent. I'd like to see everyone else question. Why do you live in the UK? Okay. Thank you, Rukunuddin. Thank you, Sueb. Thank you, Dash. Thank you, Sultana. Thank you, Khan. Okay, so you missed a question mark. So make sure you give question mark as well. Otherwise, it's not a question, right? Why do you live in the UK? Okay, so I'd like to see everyone else question. Then I'll answer it. I'll answer it. So yeah, so thank you for asking me these questions. So next question is how. Okay, the first question I'm going to answer you is, I live in the UK because it's a country of opportunity. It's a country of opportunity. Or I can say I live in the UK because I'd like to make I'd like to earn 117 times. আমি ইউকেতে বাস করি বিকজ আমি 117 গুণ earn করতে চাই. You know what I mean? So £1 equals probably 117 taka. So if I earn £1, that means I have earned 117 times. So I live in UK because I want to earn 117 times. Okay. So next question, can you please ask me next question? So where, using where, ask me a question. Using where, ask me a question. Okay, so that's the benefit of living in the UK, right? So let's say if I used to work in Bangladesh, or if I used to have a business in Bangladesh, so 1 taka is 1 taka, but here if you earn £1 is 117 taka. So that means I increase my income 117 times. So that's the beauty of living in the UK, USA, Canada. So you can increase your income so much. You can help your friends, you can help your family. That's the thing. Okay, next question is where do you live in the UK? Okay, so please type in the chat box, where do you live in the UK? No, Azmirson, is a wrong question. So you need to follow this structure. That's why I'm checking whether you can follow the structure or not. The question would be, where do you live in the UK? Excellent. Please type in the chat box. I'd like to see everyone else answer question, everyone else question. Where do you live in the UK? Excellent. So Ali Hassan said, where do you live? Azmir said, where are you living? No, where do you live in the UK? Chumpa said, where do you live? Where do you live in the UK? Okay, both are right. Where do you live in the UK? So I live at Harlow Town. It's a very beautiful town in the UK. I live in Harlow Town. It's 35 minutes driving to London from here, right? So I live in Harlow Town. It's in Essex. So next one, I'd like to ask you to make a question is how long, using how long, please ask me a question. How long? So how long দিয়ে আমাকে একটা question করেন, how long? So where do you live in the UK? Excellent, Monirul Islam. Yasmin, when do you live in that UK? Okay. It's a complete. So Sultana, it might be a different question. I'll teach you how to do it, right? So ask me where. No, sorry, not where. How long? How long do you live in the UK? Type in the chat box. How long? How long do you live in the UK? How long do you live in the UK? I live here for 12 years. So for the sake of asking question, we are following this structure, but the right question would be, how long have you been in the UK, or how long have you been living in the UK? So the right answer should be, I have been living here over 12 years, right? So anyway, so so if you ask me how long do you live in the UK, I would say I live here for over 12 years or more than 12 years. Okay, last question is, which county do you live in the UK? So for example, in our country, we have got what is called division, district, thana, and village. And here in the UK, they have got county, right? So country, county, town. Oh, sorry, city, town. This is how they call it. So county. So ask me the question, which county do you live in the UK? Which county do you live in the UK? Which county do you live in the UK? So I'm just putting how does. Okay. So COUNTY. So this is the spelling, county. So your question should be, which county do you live in the UK? So yeah, I'd like to see your question. Please type in chat box very quickly. Which county do you live in the UK? Which county do you live in the UK? Okay, excellent. Thank you. So my answer should be the county I live in the UK is called Essex. It's called Essex, right? So in this country, they consider country, county, city, then town, right? This is how they count it. But in Bangladesh, we say country, division, district, thana. So this is the administrative structure, right? It's the same in the UK, but different names. So which county do you live in the UK? My answer should be the county I live in the UK is called Essex. I can say I live in Essex. Instead of saying that, I say the county, comma, I live in, comma, is called Essex. Did you get me? So I put some sort of information. We're going to learn it, how to make these sort of informative sentences, right? So now you have answered me all the questions. So now my question is, would you be able to make a lot of sentences using this structure? Would you be able to make a lot of sentences using this structure? If your answer is yes, please type in the chat box yes. And if you wouldn't be able to make a lot of questions using this structure, please type in the chat box no. যদি আপনি এই স্ট্রাকচার ইউজ করে যদি অনেক কোশ্চেন তৈরি করতে পারেন তাহলে আমাকে একটু ইয়েস লিখে জানান, আর যদি আপনি না তৈরি করতে পারেন সেই ক্ষেত্রে আমাকে একটু নো লিখে জানান, নো। Okay, so now a lot of students they always ask me, sir, I'm struggling with my cue card. Especially dear IELTS student, you know what I mean by cue card. So cue card is a topic you'll be given when you are going for speaking module in IELTS test, and they're gonna give you a card like this. Can you see it? Like this, right? So they'll give you a cue card, and they'll give you 1 minute to think about this, and they'll give you a pencil and a piece of paper, and you need to write some sort of ideas, and then examiner will ask you, you can start, and then you need to talk at least 2 minutes about that topic. And if you keep continue, and if you use a lot of sentences, a lot of vocabularies, variation of sentences with good pronunciation, that means you have done really well. You might get 7, 7.5, 8 in speaking module, right? So how many of you are struggling with cue card? Please type in the chat box cue card. Or how many of you would like to improve how to perform on cue card? Please type in the chat box cue card. এই জায়গায় কারা কারা আছেন যারা কিউ কার্ড নিয়ে স্ট্রাগল করেন অথবা মোটামুটি বলতে পারেন বাট আরো ভালো করে ইমপ্রুভ করতে চান, আমাকে একটু চ্যাট বক্সে লিখে জানান কিউ কার্ড, because this class is very, very important. If you don't understand how to solve the cue card, you'll be struggling. So today is the class. I'm going to share with you how to solve your cue card, right? So please type in the chat box cue card very quickly, cue card, right? So cue card যখনই আপনি পাবেন তখন I always recommend you to do one thing is, of course, you're going to take pencil and paper from the examiner. Okay, let me say it in Bengali as well. So dear beginners, cue card holo IELTS speaking এর একটা পার্ট, যেই জায়গায় আপনাকে এরকম একটা কিউ কার্ড দিবে আপনার হাতে, আপনার কি করতে হবে, এই কিউ কার্ড নিতে হবে, রাইট? কিউ কার্ড নেওয়ার পরে আপনি বলতে পারবেন না, সরি, ক্যান ইউ চেঞ্জ ইট, আই ক্যানট স্পিক অ্যাবাউট দিস। নো, দেয়ার ইজ নো অপরচুনিটি, ইউ ক্যান ডিনাই ইট। আপনি ডিনাই করতে পারবেন না যে এই কিউ কার্ড নিয়ে আমি কথা বলবো না। You have to say something about the cue card, right? You cannot deny. And the next thing is, examiner will hand in a piece of paper and pencil. আপনাকে এক্সামিনার কি দেবে? একটা ছোট্ট একটা কাগজ দেবে এবং একটা পেন্সিল দেবে। So what's the reason they are giving it? Because you need to do the brainstorming and you need to write down some ideas. আপনাকে এই 1 মিনিট সময়ের মধ্যে কি করতে হবে? আপনাকে আইডিয়া জেনারেট করতে হবে এবং এই সম্পর্কে আপনাকে বলতে হবে, রাইট? So that's called cue card. And আপনার 1 মিনিট যখন শেষ হয়ে যাবে, এক্সামিনার বলবে, so you can start, and the examiner has got a stopwatch, and they're gonna click the stopwatch to start, and examiner will see the time as well. So you have to talk at least 2 minutes. The general rule is you should keep continuing until the examiner stops you. You should keep continuing, you should keep speaking until the examiner stops you. If examiner stops you, don't worry. So you should think that my time is over, nothing else. Did you get me? So did you understand what I just said about the cue card? If you understood, please type in the chat box understood. Cue card সম্পর্কে আমি যতটুকু বলছি, আপনাদের যদি ক্লিয়ার আইডিয়া থাকে তাহলে আমাকে একটু নিচে লিখে জানান কমেন্ট বক্সে understood. Okay, I'm gonna repeating one more time. So cue card হলো IELTS এর একটা পার্ট, যে জায়গায় আপনাকে ছোট্ট একটা এরকম কার্ড দেওয়া হবে, সেই জায়গায় একটা টপিক লেখা থাকবে, আপনাকে এই টপিক সম্পর্কে at least 2 মিনিটস বলতে হবে। জেনারেল রুল হলো এক্সামিনার না থামানো পর্যন্ত আপনাকে কন্টিনিউ করতে হবে, বলতে হবে, রাইট? And most of the students, they struggle a lot to generate the ideas within a short period of time, 1 minute, right? অনেক স্টুডেন্ট আছেন, মোস্ট অফ দ্য স্টুডেন্ট কি করে, তারা এই 1 মিনিটের মধ্যে আইডিয়া জেনারেট করার জন্য স্ট্রাগল করতে থাকে। তারা বলে it's too hard, I don't have any idea how can I generate this idea. So this class is for them. It's very, very important. So all you got to do is you need to see the topic. You need to see the topic. You need to see the topic. Then you need to ask questions. You need to ask 4 or 5 questions. You need to ask 4 or 5 questions. So when you get the paper, you need to either you need to write down the questions or you need to write down the answer. For example, so I got a cue card and the name of the cue card is living in the UK. Live in the UK or living in the UK, right? So what I'm going to do, I'll ask a lot of questions to this cue card. Do you live in the UK? Where do you live in? How long do you live in there? Where do you live in? Which country do you live in? So once I ask these questions to the cue card, then I have got so many ideas. I can keep speaking, right? Yes, I do. I live in the UK. There are many reasons I live in the UK. First of all, I would say is the country of opportunity. And so if I can get settled in the UK, I can earn so much money. And secondly, as a student, I would like to study in the UK because, you know, the universities in the UK, they are very, very prominent. I mean, if you get qualification from UK university, you can work anywhere in the world. And the third reason I would say, if I can study in the UK after finishing my qualification or course, I can have 2 years work permit and I can get some sort of experience, and those sort of experiences will boost my career and to work anywhere in the world. So that's the reasons I live in the UK. You know, I live in the UK is called Harlow Town and is in Essex, and especially is 25 minutes by driving. You can go by train and bus as well, but it is going to take longer because the train station is so far from my house. If you go to train station, it's going to take like 15 minutes by taxi, and then you're going to take train, and then you're going to have a journey of 35 or 40 minutes by train. And if you'd like to go by bus, you need to go to town center. It's like 15 minutes walking distance, and if you go there, you need to have the schedule of the bus, and you can take the bus, and it's going to take like 60 minutes or 1 hour 20 minutes to go to London. So yeah, so this is how you can travel. And I live in this country over 12 years, and I would like to say some sort of memories living in this country. The best memory I had is da 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 da. Right, so this is how you need to keep speaking, and if you count my time, it's like 1.5 minutes already. So if I just write down the questions, you can answer a lot. Did you get me? So how you gonna generate ideas? The answer is by asking questions. By asking questions. Once you get the topic, you need to ask questions. Why, how, where, when, how long, which. If you know how to ask these questions to the topic, you already generated ideas. Did you get me? আপনারা কি পুরো ব্যাপারটা বুঝতে পেরেছেন? যে আপনি যদি ওই টপিককে জানেন কিভাবে এই why, how, where, when, how long, which দিয়ে কোশ্চেন করতে হয়, তার মানে আপনি অলরেডি আইডিয়া পেয়ে গেছেন। এগুলোর আনসারই হলো আপনার আইডিয়া। So my question is, how you gonna solve your cue card? Type in the chat box. কিভাবে আপনি এই কিউ কার্ড সলভ করবেন, কিভাবে আপনি এই কিউ কার্ড প্র্যাকটিস শুরু করবেন? টাইপ ইন দি চ্যাট বক্স। আমাকে একটু চ্যাট বক্সে লিখে জানান যে কিভাবে কিউ কার্ড আপনি সলভ করবেন। দেখি আপনারা রিয়েলি আন্ডারস্টুড কিনা। কিউ কার্ড আপনি কিভাবে সলভ করবেন আমাকে একটু চ্যাট বক্সে লিখে জানান। রাইট। So the more class we're gonna have, the more things you're gonna learn. For example, connectors, also speaking এ কি কি ব্যাপারগুলো কনসিডার করা হয় এবং ওই সমস্ত জিনিসগুলো কিভাবে আমরা ইউজ করতে পারি so that I can get a better score in ALS exam. Right. So dear students, please answer me in the chat box how you gonna practice cue card. Excellent, Shoaib. Thank you. Congratulations. You are the first person who understood and typed in the chat box. I'd like to see everybody's comment. So কিভাবে আপনি ALS আর cue card practice করবেন? Type in the chat box. By asking questions. By asking questions. So try tonight. Just by asking questions. If you know how to ask questions, you already got the ideas. And now you can ask me, sir, how I'm going to ask questions. Just follow this structure. Ask why, how, where, when, how long, which. If you ask these questions, you have already generated ideas. Right. So this is the, I would say, one of the best strategy to solve the cue card by asking questions. By asking questions to the cue card. যখনই আপনি এই কিউ কার্ডটা পাবেন তখন এই কিউ কার্ডের টপিকের উপরে কি করবেন? আপনি কোশ্চেন করবেন। Just ask question. Just ask questions, right? So yeah, that's the thing. So I'm gonna give you a mini homework here. So all you need to do is, so just consider these are the 5 topics. These are the 5 cue cards you are seeing on the screen. English, IELTS test, study in the UK, life in the UK, right? So these are the 5 topics I have given you. All you need to do is you need to ask questions. So how you can ask questions? So take number 1, English. So this is how I need to ask question. Do you learn English? Then why, how, where, when, which institution? Ask questions, right? So this is how I need to ask questions. And next, IELTS. Do you would like to sit for IELTS test? Why, when, how? Or do you take IELTS preparation? Then ask questions. Why, where, how, which? Next one is a study. Do you study now? So then ask question. When, where, how, which institution, which university? So do you want to study in the UK? Then next question is which university, how, where, when, which course? And then do you want to live in the UK? Then ask questions. So this is how you need to practice at home, right? So what I'm gonna say is, can you please write down the topic and ask 5-6 questions. Again, write down second topic, ask 5-6 questions. Write down third topic, ask 4-5 questions. Write down 5th topic, ask 4-5 questions. So write it down in a white paper and post in the Facebook group. And I'd like to see whether you can make questions or not. If you do this practice, it's going to help you a lot to solve your cue card. And if you don't do the practice, I'd like to repeat, everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. Everybody wants to get a better score in IELTS exam. Nobody wants to work on it. Nobody wants to practice, right? So আপনাদের হোমওয়ার্ক হলো এই 5টা। আজকে আপনাদের 2টা হোমওয়ার্ক, একটা প্রেজেন্টেশন, একটা হলো এইটা। আপনারা কি করবেন? প্রথমে টপিকটা নেবেন, তারপরে এই টপিক সম্পর্কে 5-7টা কোশ্চেন করবেন। সেকেন্ড টপিক নেবেন, 5-7টা কোশ্চেন করবেন। থার্ড টপিক নেবেন, 5-7টা কোশ্চেন করবেন। ফোর্থ টপিক নেবেন, 5-7টা কোশ্চেন করবেন। ফিফথ টপিক নেবেন, 5-7টা কোশ্চেন করবেন। এবং এই কোশ্চেনগুলো যে আপনি করেছেন এগুলা সাদা কাগজে লিখবেন, লিখে তারপর কি করবেন? ছবি তুলবেন এবং ফেসবুক গ্রুপে দিয়ে দিবেন। ওকে, you got it? So how many of you'd like to do it? How many of you would like to do it? Please type in the chat box me. I'd like to see. I'd like to take promise from you, and let's see who is breaking the promise and who is not. আমি আপনাদের কাছ থেকে একটু জানতে চাই কারা কারা এটা প্র্যাকটিস করবেন। Okay, so Sultana said I'm not clear. Sultana, very good. So I repeat, আপনাকে যেটা করতে হবে প্রথমে নাম্বার 1 নিতে হবে ইংলিশ। এটা হলো একটা কিওয়ার্ডের টপিক। আপনাকে কি করতে হবে এই টপিকটাকে 4-5টা কোশ্চেন করতে হবে। কিভাবে আপনি কোশ্চেন করবেন? Go back. So why, how, where, when, how long, which, এগুলো দিয়ে টপিকটা সম্পর্কে কোশ্চেন করতে হবে। Then take second topic, IELTS test. কি করবেন এই IELTS টেস্টের উপরে আবার 6 থেকে 7টা কোশ্চেন করবেন এই ফরম্যাটে। নেক্সট ওয়ান ইজ স্টাডি। সো প্রথম কোশ্চেন হবে ডু ইউ স্টাডি নাও, তারপরে কোশ্চেন করতে হবে। কি কোশ্চেন করবেন? why do you study, how do you study, where, when, how long, which university. Next, study in the UK. So do you want to study in the UK? তারপরে কোশ্চেন করবেন এটাকে why, how, where, when, how long, which. Next one is life in the UK. Do you want to live in the UK? So then question করবেন why, how, where, when, how long, which. Clear? If it is clear to everybody else, please type in the chat box clear. So if you don't practice it, I would say you're gonna miss out a lot regarding your IELTS preparation. Okay, so that's the first thing. Second thing is, here you go. So this is the questions. Okay, this is the questions you need to practice. So number 1 is the topic of today's topic is your hometown, or a place you live. A place you live. Can you please type in the chat box? Today's homework is a place you live, right? So everybody else, please type in the chat box a place I live. A place I live. This is the topic. And now I'm asking questions. So where do you live? Where do you live there? How long do you live there? Why is it famous for? And do you have any interesting memory with this place? Please share with us. So this is the topic, and you need to talk at least 2 minutes. Try to talk for 3 minutes. If you can't, that's fine as well. Talk for 2 minutes. I think you can. I have seen a lot of presentation, and you have spoken like 7 minutes, 8 minutes, 5 minutes. So 3 minutes is not a matter of a thing. You can do it if you try, right? So the topic is a place I live. All you got to do is you need to give a presentation. So this is how I need to give a presentation. First of all, you need to ask question. So where do you live? I live in Harlow Town. Why do you live there? I live in Harlow Town because of there are 3 reasons to live in Harlow Town. Number 1, number 2, number 3. And how long do you live there? I live here for 7 years. And why is it famous for? It's famous for many things. I'd like to share at least 2. The first thing is second thing is number 3, if you can add. Do you have any interesting memory with this place? Yes, I have got so many interesting memory with this place, and I'd like to share one of them. And right? So you need to ask question and answer. So once you get all the answer, now stop there. Now give a presentation. Don't ask and answer. Just say hi everyone, today I'd like to share the topic. The topic is a place I live in. The place I live in is called Harlow. It's located in Essex. It's basically 25 minutes driving from London. And you can also go by bus and train. If you go by bus, this is how you can go. And if you'd like to go by train, this is how you can go. I live here for 3 reasons. Number 1 is it's just 25 minutes driving as I drive. And also my wife, she lives in, she works in Stansted Airport, and it takes like 15 minutes by train to go there and 45 minutes by bus. And that's why we live somewhere else in the middle of the working place. And the third reason is it's a beautiful town. People are very friendly, and that's why I live here. Harlow Town is famous for many things. First of all, I'd like to say, if you visit Harlow, of course, you should visit Roydon village. It's a beautiful village. I mean, if you go there, you will see a lot of boats over there in lakes. And if you would like to rent for a few days, you can do that. And there is a pub called I'm not recommending you to go there and drink wine, but they offer also tea and coffee as well. So if you go in the evening, I mean, you will see a lot of lights out there, lake, boats. People are hanging around here and there, and some of the people come to the pub and they order wine, tea, coffee, and all that stuff. Sometimes I go there with my wife to drink tea and coffee. And I have got so many interesting memories with this place. I can't figure out which one I should pick up. Okay, let me share with you the recent one, the late, not the oldest one, which is still I can remember. So one day, I left my working place. It's called McDonald's. I used to work there for 2.5 years. So my shift was from 9 o'clock till 3 o'clock in the morning. So the last customers I served was a police car. 2 polices were there, and they ordered 2 meals. Meals here means fries, drink, and burger. So I served them, and by this time it was 3 o'clock. I went to the changing room. I changed my dress, and then I started walking, because that McDonald's was like 25 minutes walking distance from my house, and I didn't have that much money to what is called hire a taxi, because it's expensive. Like, you got to have that time £5 or something else. So I started walking, and all of a sudden I found that the police car was coming against me, and it just turned around and stopped in front of me. And the police officer started interrogating me that, hey gentleman, why are you here? So a lot of questions, and I answered them, and finally I said, sir, I work in McDonald's, and the last customers were you. I serve you what is called a Big Mac with Coke and fries, and both of you have taken the same meal. And then say, oh, sorry to stop you, to bother you. So do you need a lift? I can drop you at home. I said, thank you for asking. Anyway, I love to walk, and it's a breezing. So I'm going my home. Thank you. So this is the interesting memory in my life. I mean, in the Harlow town. Thanks for listening to me. So this is how you need to talk. So this is a simple presentation. I tried to make a lot of sentences. So I could say I live in Harlow. Instead of saying I live in Harlow, I said the place I live in Harlow, the place I live in is called Harlow. It's 25 minutes from London. I mean, by driving, and I also mentioned by car, by bus and train. So your intention should be extend your speech, right? That's the thing. So this is the homework I have given you. You need to give a presentation. So tomorrow, how many of you would like to give a presentation? Please type in the chat box presentation. Type in the chat box presentation. I'd like to see. So this is your homework. Make sure you practice a lot. So কিভাবে আপনি practice করবেন, dear beginners? এই কোশ্চেনগুলো আপনি কি করবেন? প্রথমে আনসার করবেন। Where do I live? Why do I live there? 3-4টা রিজন দিবেন কেন আপনি সেই জায়গায় থাকেন। How long do you live there? কত বছর যাবত থাকেন? If you are born here, you can say I live here since my birth. So কেন সেই প্লেসটা ফেমাস? অনেকগুলো কথা বলবেন আপনার সেই হোম টাউন সম্পর্কে, এবং ফাইনালি আপনার কোনো ইন্টারেস্টিং memory আছে কিনা সেটা সম্পর্কে বলবেন, right? So who is excited to give presentation about this hometown? Please type in the chat box presentation. I'd like to see how many of you would like to give a presentation. Very quickly type in the chat box presentation. Very quickly type in the chat box presentation. And I am going to guarantee you, if you listen to me and if you just following my instruction, if you started giving the presentation, and if you give presentation for 12 days, you'll see you are in another level. So make sure you listen to me. And the last thing I'd like to ask you, so how did you find today's class? Is it outstanding? Is it excellent? Or is it okay? Please type in the chat box. I'd like to see your feedback. I'd like to see your feedback. Very quickly type in the chat box your feedback. আজকে আপনাদের ক্লাসটা কেমন লেগেছে? যদি খুব ভালো লেগে থাকে আউটস্ট্যান্ডিং, যদি মোটামুটি এক্সিলেন্ট, যদি okay, right? So I'm here to help you. My team is here to help you. So make sure you listen to us and take the help and change your life through education. Thank you, everyone. I got to run to the office. Talk to you tomorrow. See you in the next class. Bye-bye.